Good morning, my friends. Oh, how I wish you all could have been with me yesterday at this wonderful baby shower tea party in the most wonderful area of California. Stay tuned for just a running commentary and wonderful pictures of the area, the outside, and the tea party itself. You're gonna love it. So I'm going to narrate this, and by the way, it's Sunday morning now. The party was late yesterday afternoon. So I decided this morning that it would be much nicer if I just put part of my outfit back on so that I could narrate this in the same dress that I was in yesterday. You know, I had no idea of the area in which this tea party was being held. We knew it was down in San Juan Capistrano in a vintage tea house, but we didn't know that it was in a very historic district of California. As a matter of fact, the little single-track private road is the oldest historic neighborhood in California. This whole area goes back to when the San Juan Capistrano Mission was built back in 1771. And many of the Native Americans started building it. It took years and years, and it was restructured at certain times. Little buildings everywhere with little shops up and down this little street. People are just walking up and down. I don't even know where they park the cars. Roses everywhere, white picket fences everywhere, and people just strolling and walking as if it was the late 1800s. A lot of the work people, the Native Americans, lived right near where it was being built. And I guess they were allowed to stay in some homes that were already built. And on this little street where this tea house is, are 3 of the original Adobe cottages ever built in California. And they were built, I believe, beginning of the 1800s. And the 3 of them are still there, having been totally rebuilt. But in addition, many little homes and cottages were built on this street. I don't know how long it is. It might be half a mile long, maybe less. But it runs near the Amtrak Railroad station, which the San Juan Capistrano station is right there. We could have taken the train down from Fullerton here in North Orange County and gotten off probably minutes from this tea house, but we didn't know that at the time. But the area is out of this world. And these little wooden structures like this cottage. Now, this cottage was built in the early 1900s, very vintage, but it has been reconstructed and just added on to year after year after year. And the tea house started, I guess, somewhere around 20 or 25 years ago. And so porches were added and now, when we arrived in the area, it was quite difficult to find. We were following our GPS, and we had to make a little turn, and all of a sudden, we were on this little single track private road where there were people walking up and down, no real cars on the road whatsoever. And we just kept seeing these little wooden cottages on both sides, lots of picket fences and people wandering, sightseeing. And we thought, oh my heavens, we had to drive quite a bit down, sort of very slowly, people sort of just walking slowly away from the car so we could get through. We finally saw it on the left. And Colleen stopped the car. I had to get out and bring the presents in. I had Debbie's presents as well. And one included a great big gorgeous picture of ballerinas. Jenny was a ballerina. And Debbie saw this painting and said she just had to get it for Jenny. So I was carrying that. Colleen let me out because there was nowhere to park. Colleen had to drive back again the other way to find a place to park. So I had this big giant picture in one arm and a big bundle of gifts from Debbie in the other. Colleen was bringing the rest of the presents. So she left me. She kind of helped me walk to the entrance. And then I had to navigate some wooden steps very gingerly. And this is the building way down in the back. In the front, people are everywhere having tea. Up these beautiful steps, it's a little cottage. And there's cottages all up and down the street on the way up. But as I was walking in, people were turning their heads, sort of looking at me. Now, I did look rather fancy, as you saw. And I was so excited to dress up for a tea party. And there were women there with hats, men too, that were dressed up, but not quite to the point where I was. And at first I thought, as people sort of turned their heads as I was walking, I mean, this was a strange thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, I overdid it. Or maybe, do I have some toilet paper hanging out of the back of my pants or what? But then when people started to say, oh, I love your outfit. Oh, that hat is beautiful. You look so great. And these were young girls and older people. And I thought, wow, well, maybe I did pull it off. And I don't have that, overdone look. Yes, it was. But, it went with the occasion. And I felt so good about it all and about myself that just made the day more special for me. Gazebos were added, and it just goes back and back and back. There must have been somewhere between 100 and 200 men and women having tea there. There were big private parties being held in areas outside with awnings and umbrellas. We were in an area in the back on sort of on sort of a covered veranda porch. And then there were little private tables here and there as you wandered your way back on little wooden walkways all the way to the back. This is the most amazing place. There must be hundreds of women in all different rooms, inside, outside, in the most fantastic dresses and hats. I'm so glad I wore the hat. Look at this place. And this is our room. We're sort of on the end in the back of a little house out on a patio. We haven't sat down yet. It was delightful. Now, the party itself was such a wonderful surprise. First of all, the ambiance just added to it. The food, the tea sandwiches, everything was served. There must have been 30 or 40 waitresses and waiters running around with trays serving everyone. It wasn't a help yourself thing. There were 3 or 4 courses. It all started with champagne. When we walked in, we were handed a glass of champagne. And then, of course, we did a lot of the hugging and kissing and hellos to everyone. We started taking pictures in all the beautiful backdrops around with Jenny. It was Jenny's baby shower. She is expecting a little girl called Charlie Jane. And she looks wonderful. So did everyone else. There's 2 of my great-granddaughters that are helping me. my beautiful granddaughter.
Hi.
And she's the one, ladies, I know you, I told you all about her, and many, many ladies said they were so proud of you. Me too. Bevan went back to North Carolina to help the victims in the floods.
Yes, it was an amazing experience, and we're also going in a couple months to Bishop to do the same thing in NART, and I'm very excited, and it's very heartfelt, and it's just an amazing experience.
I'm so proud. The shower was given by Jenny's mom, Jenny's sister Bridget, and Jenny's sister-in-law, Lila. Lila's married to Billy Monahan, Jenny's brother. And they are the ones that evidently found this, or maybe Jenny found this tea house down there because she does live down in that Temecula area. But it was the best location for a tea party. I've been to tea houses before, vintage ones, but not with this atmosphere and not in this historic district. This oldest Los Rios Street, this little tiny street, is the oldest neighborhood in all of California, going back to the late 1700s. So it made it more exciting. And the food was out of this world. Everything was served. There were 3 or 4 courses, starting, of course, with champagne. And then after all the greeting and a lot of picture taking, we sat down at lovely tables, and there were place settings. I had little great-grandkids there, and it was wonderful. A few people had to miss it, including Debbie, because she had another shower that day, and she couldn't miss that one either. I had to be very careful walking around because the walkways were old wooden floors, and there were a few little steps here and there, up and down. I had to be very careful. So little Brinley and my great-granddaughters, Brinley and Tegan, were helping me walk around. They were guiding me. They were helping me and letting me know when there were some stairs that I had to look out for, because we wanted to kind of snoop around and walk around and see all the different areas. And it was so fun. There's my granddaughter, Bridget, looking beautiful. We want to go up to the front and see what it's like. Tables set for people. How many ladies do you think are having tea, girls, in this place today?
A lot.
A lot.
Like 100 almost.
I bet there's at least 100.
Yeah,
all over.
at least 100.
This is a big long porch, okay? And I guess a lot of the food is in there. And I sat next to Colleen and Lauren, my granddaughter, Lauren, Matthew's daughter, and Cindy, his wife, and Kristen, married to a nephew. Caitlin, our grandson Patrick's wife, who's a hoot. I just love her. And we just had the most beautiful time. And it wasn't pick things from trays. It was, everything was served. We helped ourselves pouring our teas in the beautiful cups. The tables were set beautifully. And the first course that came was a gorgeous salad with flowers in there. The pansies and the other edible flowers. Well, I ate my first pansy today. And the dressing was like a raspberry vinaigrette, and it was just piled high with beautiful greens and little fruits and veggies and flowers. And after that, the beautiful plates, we each got a gorgeous big plate of all the tea sandwich.
Pinkies up.
How'd I do?
You did great, Mama.
Isn't this beautiful? The sandwiches are gorgeous. This one is a curry. This one is mushrooms and something. And this is a gorgeous scone. And over here is the cream. And somewhere the chicken.
I didn't get the turkey one.
I didn't get that one. What's that one? And then the scones. The scones were out of this world with the raspberry jam and the whipped cream. And then came the big 3-tiered platter of all kinds of wonderful sweets, little chocolate bonbons. And little miniature chocolate-covered brownies and little cookies with strawberries on top. Everything was beautiful and beautifully served as well. Now, my headpiece, which is called a fascinator, like those British ladies wear on the sides of their heads, the big pancake ones, the tiny pillbox. When we were antiquing the day before, and I had that lovely morning with Debbie and Molly, we had breakfast and then we went into that little antique shop. Debbie found this for me and she said, "Mom, you've got to wear this tomorrow." And I looked at it and I tried it on and I thought, oh, it's so cute. Well, I had to look up because I know that they wear these on the sides of your head, down on your forehead. And I wanted to make sure that it was right, but I didn't know quite how it held on. Now, this one happened to have these little headbands on the side. And so I knew that would help, but it would slip around. But look what's on the inside, a hair clip. And I guess as you put it on to make it stay, you would somehow clip it in your hair. But this hat did get a lot of attention, and I think it probably was the highlight of my outfit. As you put it on, you have to make sure that it's down in the front. And of course, it had this little veil, of which I wore plenty of in my day. Back in high school and college, you have to make sure that the dot's not right in front of your eyes. But it was so fun to wear, especially with my hair back, just sort of hanging in the back. Now, so far as all the gloves, and I remember in the last video, I showed you these cuffs made from this beautiful lace that I had forgotten that I had. They've been in my closet there for years and years. I did bring them with me, but in the end, I didn't really wear them because I realized that this was much better, especially for eating. You know, you wouldn't want these to be, this would really have been probably too much. But you know me, go big or go home. It's not necessarily the thing for me not to overdo it sometimes. But I had these, and I also had a pair of regular gloves that I brought just in case. But I never did find This is such a nanny thing. I never did find the other one of these. I know it's somewhere in my closet, but it was definitely great for using this hand since I'm left-handed anyway, for my tea drinking and everything. And it did show up a lot in the pictures. And I happened to win a lovely envelope of the scone mix, currant scone mix. And I can't wait to make those for Moosey and I because it's their signature selection of scone mix. And I love scones. We ate a lot of scones when we lived in Scotland and England, and still do, by the way. Do you remember the rest of my outfit? I actually don't have the rest of the outfit on. It's those black satin pants, and in 2 or 3 videos ago, I think I did show them to you here on a hanger. And it was a day about 3 weeks ago, they must have been having those January clearances, where I did go to Walmart, and I always stop and look at the clothes, and they happened to have a big clearance rack. And on that clearance rack were these black satin pants. They're cargo pants, but they're dressy. And there was a tag on there. And can you see this tag? Do you see how much they were? $5. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what they were originally, but they were a lot more than that. And they're very quality looking. So I wore those. And as I kept going through the rack, didn't I find this Jessica Simpson, for some reason or other, has a clothing line, I guess. And I found this black velvet. It's sort of a shirt type jacket. And I thought, that would be kind of nice to wear. I didn't think I was going to wear it to the shower. But when I finally paired them together with another black shirt, I realized that it would be a very sort of a Coco Chanel look, especially with all the pearls and of course the little fascinator hat did finish it off, really. And the jacket was also on clearance for $10. Can you believe it? So I was going to do one of those shorts, which is a TikTok viral thing where they say, no one will ever know. Who'll know? Who's to know? No one will know. And I was going to do one of those and then somehow show the cost of these. Debbie, I was telling Debbie, I'll probably maybe try and do a short like that. And she said, oh, Mom, you're going to wind up telling everybody what everything costs anyway. So, so I didn't. So many little beautiful touches. I was so shocked. It's so cute. As we left and drove down the little road to leave for home, I was just dreaming of the next time we could return with the daughters, the granddaughters, great-granddaughters, daughter-in-laws, and have a wonderful time again. I'm going to try and edit this today so that you'll have it by late afternoon or early evening for maybe you Easterners. Now, Jenny, the star of the show, the beautiful pregnant Jenny, looked absolutely beautiful, as she always does. She is enjoying her pregnancy. She looks wonderful. But Jenny was just thrilled, looking at all the gifts and everything, thanking everyone for coming and enjoying her day so much. And it was wonderful to see her, as it was seeing so many of my loved ones, my grandkids, my granddaughters-in-laws, my little great-grandchildren, and talking with Bevan, our sweet 16-year-old. I hope you enjoy this. If you love dressing up and tea parties and things like that, not only that, but the historic aspect of this whole day, everything vintage and the decor inside and the little street and the homes, you will love this as much as I did. Thanks so much for watching, for binging. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet and you're enjoying our channel. I love you all. Bye for now, and God bless us all.